We are trying to finish the Wabash Trace today. It's going to be a 4-part series. I think it's going to be a 3-part. This is Shenandoah's original depot. And over there was a housing or some type of schoolhouse that's original to the area. But as you can see, this whole area is turned into a big park. And this is actually the biggest city. And this is actually a city. It's got 5,000 or 5,900 people. And you can see another building right here. I don't think this was around until after the railroad, but these two buildings I first showed you are from the original. So we came in over here from Imogene, which was on the end of the last video. We didn't quite get there, but we almost did. And to be honest, it's a town of 39 people, so you wouldn't have known anyways. But this is it. This is the trail, and you got the old wood planks, and where the trail is actually where the train was, the tracks. And as you can see, this is where, like if you remember that Minneapolis video I have, this is where the doors were, where they have all the luggage and stuff, and then they bring it out, and the people would get on the train right here. And this is the old train. They said this is restored. It may have been restored, but I'll tell you what, they didn't do a good job maintaining it. And it really irritates me. You can get a good look inside. That's where the ticket guys were. The other side's where the passengers would be. Sorry, it's a lot of glare. You can't get in. They don't even have this open to the public. They could be making a ton of money selling sodas and hamburgers and Wabash Trace t-shirts, but they don't. And I told them too, I said, turn this into a Airbnb. Fix it up. You could literally make 5 to 8 rooms and charge $80 a night. Because let me tell you, trying to find places to stay on this trail is very difficult. But what I find really fascinating is this here. Look at this. The actual, another train track. So the current train does still come through here. It doesn't stop here, but it still comes through here. I found that fascinating. It's the only spot I know of where the train actually is right next to the old train track. And except for that one spot we rode where I went under the train track. And they've got nice signage here telling you where to go next. Because you take this Wabash and look, you go right into there. Now what we're going to do from here is I'm going to skip this one portion that takes me to Coin, simply because it's too far and I can't make it all the way there and back. So I'm going to skip one little spot. It's just a 5-mile spot, and I'm going to start from Coin, and I'm going to take it down to Blanchard, and both are ghost towns or dead. But that way we can be right on the Missouri border or whatever. So literally pretty much almost went through the whole state, because this trace starts in Council Bluffs, which is right next to where I live in Omaha. So, 5 miles outside of Nebraska. And we go through all of Iowa and we end up down in Missouri. I think they say, some things say 67 miles. To be honest, I think if you ride the whole trace, it's over 71 miles. But if you do like me, where I'm having to go back and forth, because I got to stop my car, get my bike, and go, it ends up being 120 miles. So, yeah, we're going to get this going. So, with that said, I'll catch you guys when I start the trail. All right. How's it going? Magic Cycle family on Facebook and Heybook family on Facebook. Good to see you guys. Check out either of those sites, find the bike you want, and then hit me up at www.ecocycleusa.com and just send me a note of what you want, and I'll check to make sure it's in stock, and I'll tell you what price you can pay through me. Yeah, I'm trying to make a buck. I had that troll tell me, all you want to do is make a buck. Yeah, that's called America. So if you can save $200 or $300 going through me, you might as well. You get the same warranty. After the fact, it's all through them. The shipping time's all through them, everything. So just hit me up. If you're in the local area, Nebraska, I do repairs and things, so you can come to me for repairs. With that said, you can see we're in the city clerk's office, small city town here. Town, I keep saying city. Just before this, I showed you, I did a preview of Shenandoah. That's the biggest actual city. This town, I think, is a town of maybe 300. Sorry, I didn't look up the facts. But we're headed over to Blanchard, and that's the last part of the Wabash Trail. And at least it's developed. And that's a town of 0, I believe. It's unincorporated, it's nothing. Just like Imogene, just like a lot of the towns, they died when the railroad died. And anybody that watches any videos on YouTube or knows anything about ghost towns, the reason they're ghost towns is they boom when there's a train. Because you get hotels, you get gambling, you get all that crap. But once there's no train and people that are, because even though the train, people think, oh, it's just a train coming through. No, there's people, 10 to 50 people there to constantly maintain the train, the tracks, the stations, all that. This doesn't have a station, which is kind of weird. And they do have a little tent campsite. And I'll be honest, it's a pretty nice area. They just need to learn how to clean the bathrooms once a week. It takes 20 minutes. And advertise. This Wabash could be, it's a hidden gem of Iowa. I'm telling you, they could make a lot of money if they spent money on it. Doing more bike rides, doing more promotions, having people out here. This is one of the first ones I've been to that actually has electrical. So someone like me on an e-bike can actually charge up, which is nice. The other thing is, like I said, in Shenandoah, the reason I didn't make the ride from Shenandoah to here, that's what this would have been, is it was 8 miles and I just don't have the time. It's like 5:30 at night or 5:30 p.m. It looks darker than it should do because of the cloud cover. If you watch my videos, I'm always under cloud cover. It's just the way it is here. Again, like and subscribe. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. I'm trying to put myself in front of the camera. I don't really like it because, as you can see, I'm not Mr. Perfect yet. I'll have some things coming in pretty soon, so I'll look a little bit better. I won't look as old. But yeah, just get out and ride free, man. And enjoy life, and share your videos with me as well. I'll join your YouTube page. I don't care. I love watching videos with people that actually are doing something. Now, we've done quite a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this Wabash. I said it's a 4-part video, and the reason is because we've never done where I started in Minot, Iowa, back to Council Bluffs. So I'm going to do that because that's the biggest piece of the trail where the most people go on, because Council Bluff is a huge city of, like, 150,000 people right next to Omaha where I live, which is over 1 million people. So we're going to do that as the last video, kind of a reverse order, sort of, kind of a middle order, and then I don't know, it's middle order, skip a piece, and then I don't know, but that's what we're doing. I was going to have, for this piece, I wanted to have the first time you saw the drone. Yeah, I tried to save a buck, and yeah, didn't like that drone, so not going to have it. I need a simple drone. I hit takeoff, I hit follow me, it follows me. I hit takeoff and I say hover and it hovers. I don't need anything that I got to fly or anything. I don't have time for that. I've learned too many things. I'm running a bike shop, I'm running my regular job, I'm trying to do videos, I'm editing the videos, I'm doing my own web page. I don't have time to do all that. Again, if anybody has time to do anything for free, let me know. I'll try to provide something for you guys, but right now I don't have money to be spending, so it is what it is. With that said, let's get on with the ride. We're going to be going, like I said, from Coyne, that's where we're at now, to the final place, and that's Blanchard, and it's Iowa-Missouri border. So we've literally gone pretty much through the state in a way, not, kind of like this. And so we've gone from the tip of Iowa area, which is right next to where I live, 5 miles out from Nebraska, like I said earlier, into Missouri. So that's kind of cool. So basically, it's 2 states, but almost 3. If there was a connection to Nebraska, which I did find there is one, but it kind of ends and starts again. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to do the video. I hope you enjoy it. Depending on what it is, I'll throw some music in. I might try the helmet camera again. I don't know. That's this right here. If you like this helmet, $165, man. Not through me. Not trying to sell it. I don't get sponsored by anybody, so this is not sponsored. The only sponsor is myself. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Okay, like I said, we're in Coin. This is the only part of the trail I've ever been on that when you were in the city or the town, didn't have cement. Normally coming in and going out of the town, you have about a half a mile of cement. This town has nothing. They don't spend any money on it, and you can see the trail is overgrown. I don't know if the guys, because it seems like the main work is handled out of Melbourne, where you saw the cool bike statues or bike artwork and all that. And so they probably don't come down and do as much down here, which sucks. And places like this, they don't have the money. But the thing is, there is a ton of money on this. They've gotten money from the Historical Society, the federal group, the state level, and every city should be donating. And then you got your patrons that should be donating. The thing is, it's like 20 bucks to ride this thing for a year. And I guarantee they're not enforcing it. They need to have people out here enforcing it. You know, give them a sticker or something, like they do at the parks. I know it's a little hard to do, but even if they only put people on here on like a Saturday and a Sunday, they catch violators. Nice bridge. I love the bridges they put up. There's a lot of good things they've done. I'm just saying, I literally gave them ideas that with literally about $100,000, maybe fixing up that Shenandoah Depot, you're talking maybe about $300,000 are needed for this trail. And it would be the most rocking trail of America. Because the one right now that's really cool, the only one I know is the one out of Deadwood, out of, I think that's South Dakota. And I really want to take it. I've seen videos, but the drive for me is like 9 hours away. I'm like, no. Once again, I have to wear my sunglasses, and as you can see, it's already overcast and I can't see. Because stupid me still has not bought a pair of clear shades. And the visor that came with this helmet is not clear. I don't know why they didn't give you, like some helmets will give you a clear and a sunglass. Mine doesn't, and I want to use it, and then when you see me in the video I can have it on, I look like a stormtrooper, but now, but you can see what I was also going to tell you, that was the only part of the whole Wabash that I was literally next to the highway. Yes, I've crossed gravel farm roads and stuff like that, but I've never been, well no, I apologize. In the very first video, I had to cross a major highway in Minot. But other than that, and when I say major highway, I mean at least 5 cars go on in an hour. But we're sitting at PAS 3 on the Magic Cycle Jag. I usually used to ride at 2 because it's pretty flat, except when I ran out of my battery on the longest piece on that Imogene Trail. That's why that video I cut short, because I could not hump up that hill. This bike is 70-something pounds, and I was tired. But yeah, I generally used to ride at PS2, and even though I work out all the time, I'm actually normally on this trail riding at PS3. It's a little overkill though. I could probably go PS2, but I'm only hitting 12 miles an hour, so I'm not really hauling ass. That was part of the reason why I cut out the piece from Shenandoah to Coin. It was a long, like 8 miles, and I just didn't think with the battery life and time that I have for the ride today, I said I don't have enough time. I can probably get about 15 or 20 miles in, that's it. Because once we come in these things, it's so dark. This is why I wanted the drone to show you. Literally 10 feet on either side, we go into the open space. You know? Yet it looks like I'm riding in a woods. I will say this part of the trail though is a little less thicker, and so I don't have as many tree branches. Because boy, as you recall, pulling them tree branches out sucks. But this is the kind of stuff I like to ride on. I don't really like concrete. And I don't like mountain biking on a small trail. I wouldn't mind mountain biking if the trail was this wide. More of an easy mountain bike. But by now, my other video should be up that you see me on that mountain bike. And a lot of times why it cuts out is because I wrecked. I wrecked 3 times on that. And I was on a hay bike Horizon, so I had good suspension and everything. But man, it was hairpin turns, jumps, and I'm like, this is easy? Now, I did find out the course goes from easy into a moderate, and you don't have a choice. That's just the way it goes, which kind of sucks. God, he's into a spider web. Alright, I'm going to kind of be quiet for a minute here. Hopefully this is where I can plug in one of the lovely indie bands that I support, that most don't support me, but that's okay. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look, how it's not taken care of. Kind of worried about the battery after that one start last time where I only had the 3 bars, and then I turned it on yesterday and only had 4 bars. I'm going to tell you guys one thing: make sure you always turn your battery off, because it does slow leak, I'm telling you. And maybe you guys know that and you can just comment and say, well, I already knew that. Okay, well, I didn't. But I made sure to be fully charged. One thing I forgot again was I have a spare battery tank. It will charge my battery, and I'll get another bar and a half or so out of it. It's not a big time charger or anything, but it's just a little one that I carry. Because one thing I'm trying to do is more camping and stuff like that. So I am find lightweight stuff that I can take that will help me camp and be able to carry it on the bike and not put too much more weight on the bike, you know. I mean, I could probably pack 50 pounds on this sucker. Yes, the bike will carry, what, I think it's rated at 320 maybe? Look that up on Magic Cycle Jag. I think it's 320. And I only weigh 205 now. Woo! Yeah, you guys don't think that's a big deal, but I weigh 220. And no, I didn't get any drugs. That's called having heart surgery and then having to work out all the time. I did get frustrated because I'm like, I'm not losing weight. And they say, it's because you got muscle. Which I've always known muscle weighs more than fat, but it's frustrating, you know? Because you want to see results. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day. Again, don't forget, hit that like and subscribe button. I almost killed myself doing that for you. Yeah, look at all this overgrown crap. There's, like I said, there's not as many tree twigs. I can't speak. Riding right next to a cornfield. But there's a lot of growth in here, which is weird. Because if we're getting the tree twigs up, why is the grass not coming up? And we've gone miles, 2.5 miles. On my videos, I do try to get a straight shot for you guys on the whole path. And sometimes it may get a little boring, so fast forward if you must. But I try to do, when I go from town to town, I try to do the path as much as possible without cutting off the video. And then on the way back, I do my helmet cam videos. Trying to stay around that 30-minute mark for y'all. And we're gonna, I think I kind of mentioned this, and as you guys know by now, I get sidetracked when I'm talking. But I'm gonna start adding more stops. I've got planned to go to a winery and things like that. So I'm gonna do more stops on my bike. So it'll be the trail, but it'll also be like a stop along the trail. I'm trying to do that already, showing you some old bridges and some train wrecks. But I'm going to be doing more of that so it's not so boring for you guys. I'm going to pause this video for a minute so you don't have to sit and watch another 1.5 miles of me just riding through this. Oh, one thing is, I'm going to try to shoot a video tomorrow, if I'm still in the area, of Villisca. And I'm not even going to go through all of it until I do it, but if you know what that is, because this video will be out before that one, if you know what Villisca is, please put in the comments what it is and what you know about it. I know a shit ton about it, of course, but yeah, you let me know. Alright, I turned the camera on right here and aimed it. I don't know if you guys can see it, because I can't really see it either. But over in the distance, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 windmills. Now, I guarantee you, there's probably well over 100. I was known for doing some of the biggest, even though they're a Trump state and Republican, yeah, they're also known to do the most in climate. They have a lot of solar and a lot of these wind turbines. Sorry if you guys are into the thing that I mentioned, but yeah, I try to keep that out of my videos. But it is pretty impressive when you see these, because what they did is, you know, back in the day, farms were struggling and the government tried to give them subsidy money to help them. And then later, companies from China, did I say that right? Came and started buying our land and basically owned part of America. And other farmers and stuff got smart and said, yeah, we're not going to sell to corporations or anything like that. So they started doing this, and basically they're farming resources. And I think that's pretty impressive. So I wanted to stop and show you that as we continue on the trail. But yeah, I'll hit you guys up in a minute. Okay, what's weird is I came to this piece, and to be honest, I thought we were really close to the end here. But look at this. I will give them credit. Like I said, most of the trails sucked. The trees were all in my face. There was stuff growing up from the ground. The only nice thing was there was less tree twig. But look, right here, it is all cut side to side. Maybe that's because somebody that owns this barn or whatever the hell it is said they cut this piece to be nice. Because it looks like they cut the area and they probably just went out. Actually, I think this is it. This is the trailhead. Yeah, we're at the trailhead. There's not even a place to sit. Blanchard. All right, look at that. We made it. All right, I'm going to find a spot to sit for a second and talk, and then I'll head back. Give me just a minute. I got to take a bathroom. Okay, so having a beverage. We don't talk about that stuff online, but as you can see, we're in Blanchard. Now, if I go up this way, I believe this way, maybe over a little, not even half a mile, we're in Missouri. That's why all the funding is still from Iowa. If you guys are smart Wabash Trace people, you could extend this trail, because I guarantee that the train probably continued on, and you probably need to rebuild, at least go get pictures and rebuild a train depot here. There's nothing in Blanchard. Whoever cuts the grass does a hell of a job. They do. I appreciate it. But you got this nice little fenced area, and you got what you have in Imogene. You got that little silo. Put a shower and a toilet in there, since you don't even have a porta potty out here. You have no fire pits. And I guarantee there's probably, I mean, I looked it up. There's technically, this town is dead. There's nobody here, but I see houses, so obviously there's some people here. Just hire one of them or ask one of them to clean the toilet, you know? I really feel that you guys are missing out on a lot here. And when I look at Iowa as a whole, places like Council Bluffs that got tons of money from the casinos, get some of that money too, by the way, because it is due to the state. It's a dump hole. But you got something that's so beautiful for literally 70 miles, basically. I know it says different in the brochure, but total is, I can show you my odometer, a lot more than that. And you're not really promoting it. And the reason the back ends, because I talked to somebody, I'm not going to say who, but they say that they don't get enough traffic down here. I get it. You don't, because you don't offer anything down here. You know what? Go crazy. Put a water park at the end here. Drive people from the area here for the water park. Make some money. But, you know, if you listen to me about the electrical and the campsites, even building up some of the areas with, get the company, there's a company that does these glamping tents, even if it's only for the summer months, contract them to bring the glam tents out, and, you know, they keep the base there all year, but in the summer months, they put the glam tent up, and you'll make money. They make money, you make money. And you can put it more money towards this. I get it that you guys don't care because you're not getting paid per se, or maybe the top dog gets a little bit of money. I know how a nonprofit works. I was the president of a huge soccer club in Omaha, so I know how it works. But, you know, you guys really could do a lot. I mean, I think you guys do a lot, but I'm just saying you could do a lot more. And people like me, I've offered to volunteer and stuff, but you guys ignore me. And that's not cool. So yeah, I'm putting this in the video so that maybe one of you guys will say something. And guys, anybody watching, I mean, my whole 29 subscribers, which is BS because I'm top contributor on Magic Cycle and Hay Bike group, helped a lot of people. And you guys can't click a follow button? Come on, a subscribe. All right, I kind of wanted to show you guys. I turned it back, the video back on, because look, I wanted to show you, I told you we're in Missouri. So I went up a block, and can you see the sign here? Missouri state line. So just to do it, we're going to go over the Missouri state line. Woohoo! Now, we're in Missouri. And if I was being followed by the cops, they'd have to stop. It'd be nice if they had a beer store and I could get drunk and get a DUI and then run away. I'm just joking around, but yeah. Okay, so we're gonna head back now. But I met a real nice guy, and he said they're building some stuff up here to do exactly what I said. So, Wabash Trail people, for what I said earlier in my comments, it sounds like some of it's being taken care of. And I'm pretty happy about that, to be honest with you. Because this trail is so fucking awesome. Sorry for the bad word. And this is such a small town. Like I said, when I looked up the population, it said nobody. But the one guy I met here, he said, no, there's at least 20 people. But he said, go up here, and they're building this thing, so I'm going to see if it's up this street. I don't know where they went. Anyways, if I find it, I'll let you guys know. Alright, so this is the first helmet cam video on the way back. This is the first bridge. Look how long this bridge is. You may not see it all the time. And this is one side of the creek. You see that? I gotta tilt my head down. I notice when I'm doing my camera videos, I forget that it's on top of my head. But it's not much water there. I mean, literally a couple inches. Be kind of fun to splash around in. When I was a kid, I used to do that. But look over here. Another train car. Now, what I was told by the locals, not of this area, but earlier, is sometimes you'll see some train cars, and they were used in the development to help, or they were just here when they tore down the original trestle bridge. Because you can see, it looks to me that there is a piece of bridge there, and a car, or it could just be a car. Then again, they don't seem to do very good on their history, because they don't really know the train wrecks. Because I got two stories with that one train wreck I showed you. One was, oh, that's just extra parts they used to build the creek. I'm like, yeah, right, these creeks are original. These are built by 10,000 years ago, about how they went. Except back then they probably were 5 foot high. But look, you can see here, I'm trying to turn my helmet. You can see, I don't think that was man-made, but I can't tell. Or not man-made, sorry, newer. I think that's part of the original, but I can't tell. On this whole trail, this piece of trail, I haven't seen any trestle metal bridge. So I think that they either were down or something. But you knew there was a bridge anytime you cross a creek. But I wanted to stop and show you this one. So we'll see if there's, we'll see if there's anything else to show you. All right, nice opening here. See a lot of good farmland. One of the few spots, and I know earlier, oh, there's those windmills I was telling you about. I know earlier, in one of the other videos, I showed you farms and talked about the levels and all that. But for the most part, this whole area has been like this, canopy of trees. But I'm trying to show you, look how close in this area. Some are farther out, but look, because a lot of people might think, oh, he's riding in the woods. Yeah, no, I'm not really. I'm riding a kick-ass trail covered by the trees so I don't have to deal with the sun. But in this one, you got a lot more sun coming through, which is good and bad. When you get the weather, like on the last video on Imogene, it was raining. I hardly felt it at all because the trees were protecting me, because it wasn't a hard rain. But if I was on this trail, this part of the trail, I would have gotten nuked. But here's something I did want to show you. Look at how low the trees are. And this isn't as bad as it's going to get, but look at the tree cover coming in. This piece of trail looks really good. And again, like I said, the tree branches are not on this as bad, but there's a lot of growth and a lot of crap. Here's another little small creek bridge. I would have kept one of the trestle bridges from the day, even if it was like, I would have even kept the railroad ties on there. Even if I had to replace them with new railroad ties, just to kind of give that, because it's so small and it's been cheap to do. For some reason there's a path cut in there. I don't know why that happens. Alright, well, this kind of gives you some good ideas of what I'm dealing with on this piece, and the fact that you can watch that I can't seem to look a different way because my arms must turn the way I look, I guess. Okay, I'll turn it back on if we get up to some more cool stuff. Again, as always, like and subscribe and share with your friends. Tell them all to watch. Literally, watch my videos and like them and comment. Just say boo. Buy me a cup of coffee. Go to the link in the description and buy me a cup of coffee. Don't be a cheap ass. Yes, I'm peddling for money. I will work for food. The difference is I actually am a military vet. And I am disabled. But I actually give back to these trails. Not only did I pay for the membership, but I try to donate and I try to use my YouTube to promote them. That's more my goal, is to help people, help the, trails, because that's what we're about, right? So even if you don't want to donate to me, donate in my name to some kind of trail in your area. Donate from EcoCycle Sean. I'm telling you, and I don't really drink, but these are one of those days I like to have a drink. Just feel it. Look at all this corn. Woo! This is on some of the other trails the corn was close, but on this one, they're literally, the corn, it's not that close right here, but on one piece of this, it actually comes about 5 feet from me, which is kind of cool. I wish one of them were out there cutting the corn down so you could see a combine or whatever the hell they use. Go watch Laura Farms. She's out in Nebraska. I like watching her videos. It's all about farming and stuff, but it's still fun. And I like her husband, to be honest. I think his name's Grant. I think he needs to do more, to be honest, more talking. He just seems kind of cool. Someone I like to hang out with. Young, but I still like to hang out with him. All right, like I said, I'm going to shut this down, and if it comes back on, it's because I wanted you guys to see something. If not, you know, it is what it is. Okay, this is what I was talking about, how it opens up, and you're right by the interstate. See how the interstate's over there? Now, if you watch my Mopac video, there was a mile and a half that I was literally 5 feet away from the interstate, which scared the shit out of me, because if someone does swerve or whatever, I'm dead. And there actually was a cross on it too. This one, I think I have a little bit more time to evade it. But just showing you, look, totally open. That's a highway. That's actual concrete. And then boom. But look also the trail I was talking about earlier about how overgrown it was. Very overgrown. And there is a lot of tree twigs. Like I said, there wasn't, but there are in some parts of this. So it needs a little bit more work on this area. And these trees, as you can see, are very inside. And while I was riding with my thoughts, I was thinking about when the train was coming through here, a lot of these bushes obviously weren't here because that train was over 85, 90 years ago when it last ran. But it could have been other trees, could have been some of these. But you got to also remember the farmland wasn't really here. And even the farmland that was not, you know, 10, 20, 30 acres. Most people, if you had 5 acres, you were a badass back then. So you got to remember that too. So there might have been a lot more trees. I don't know. And like I already said about the creeks, we know those were flowing better because they weren't dammed up, they weren't stopped. And you guys say, well, the creeks are always dammed. You're right, they're not. But because of roads, because of certain things, they are kind of dammed up. But yeah. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to also look to see if I can find any archived photos and footage. And I don't know if I'll put them on this video or the very last video, but I'm going to make sure to get them up if I find anything. So here we come up to another bridge. God, there was a lot of bridges. Which I kind of like. Alright, well, you can see we're in a dense piece again. Sort of what you've already seen. So I'll cut off here and come back. Oh, I didn't show you that. I just ran over it. A lot of scat. And I know scat's used to talk about bear stuff, but I don't want to say the word because I already say enough bad words. And I can guarantee you that it's not all dog or cat. I don't know what it would be because it's pretty big. So I don't know. It could be a possum. But I'm thinking more like wolf or coyote, which I've seen a lot of shit on this trail so far. I've seen deer, rabbits, skunks. Haven't seen anything like a wolf or a fox yet, and I don't really want to either. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Coming to another opening up here. God, I gotta tighten my stuff down. It's all flopping around. I'm terrible at that. I tighten my stuff up all the time, but these trails, believe it or not, are pretty bumpy. Oh, by the way, guys, if you know of a better suspension seat, you know, I've gotten the Zoom and stuff like that, and that's a nice cheap one, but obviously Centaur and I can't think of the other one, but they're really nice, but they're like 149 bucks. There's got to be somebody, especially from China, that makes a knockoff of the Centaur, and it's like 50 bucks. But it's basically exactly the same thing. If you guys know that, please comment, let me know, or send me the Amazon or eBay link or whatever, because I haven't found one yet. I know I can keep looking. It's just I've looked for a couple hours on stuff, and I've got a lot of accessories at good pricing. Even though I can get them from Hey Bike, Magic Cycle, and stuff at a better cost, they don't sell all the stuff. Believe it or not, they don't sell crap. So I am looking to try to find a dealer, or not a dealer, sorry, but like a manufacturer that'll work with me. so that I can offer better deals on accessories. That's the only bench on this whole path, on this path. Yet every other path has no less than 3 or 4 benches, even though a lot of them may be broken. Did you hear that twig? I told you they need to cut those damn twigs. Thank God I wear a helmet, right? And now my eyes weren't facing it because I don't have my glasses on because I can't see. It's getting dark, as you can see. Again, it's, I can't see what time it is. Oh, 7:50. Oh, look at this. Well, we gotta stop. This is the biggest, I gotta stop for a second. This is the biggest creek on this patch, and probably of the whole area that you can actually see. There's one other big creek with the trestle bridge that has some cars in it, but this is the biggest one that has at least 4 or 5 foot of water, maybe 6 feet in some spots. And as you can see, there's the highway. Again, I hate to say highway, and everyone will laugh at me because you're like, oh, it's a country road. Well, it's still technically a highway, and it gets probably 2 cars an hour. Maybe on some rush times it gets 4. But the sad thing with these stupid cities is they literally don't have a gas station or a freaking Casey's or anything. Well, Casey's like a quick shop, quick mart. My theory is if you're going to have 5 or 6 of these small towns, at least find a midpoint and put a gas station. So that if I got to take a drink or get a drink or take a piss, I got somewhere to go. Yeah, this is cool. Now, see at the bottom there? See the metal? I don't know if my helmet's showing it. But there's metal down there. I believe that was reused from the trestle bridge. And that wood could either be from the original trestle bridge. I bet it is. Yeah, it is. Look. Because you can see the metal stops up on it. So this is actually, they built this bridge on top of the original old train bridge. Now that is freaking ass cool. That's freaking ass cool, man. And like I said, remember out there, when you were coming through here, you might have saw Indians. Or, as more properly to say it right, Native Americans and buffalo. You wouldn't have saw the farmland. Unless that happened to be that 5 acres somebody owned. But like I said, even in 1930, this was not all developed yet into this big of farms. And that's when the railroad basically ended, around 1930. And it started in I think it was 1887. So if you guys look at your history, that's pretty much the Wild West. But look at that creek. Now, you couldn't jump from this bridge and live. But you see how it's kind of at that banks there where it's muddy? That's how high it'll get now. But look, up at where the tree limbs, where it's grass, but then it's trees, that's where it used to be. Let's be honest, guys. That's where it used to be. These used to be big ass, this was a river. And it's probably still called a river, but it was a river. All right, I'm going to shut up now and continue on my ride. Got about another mile to go till I finish. But I wanted to show you that because I like looking at stuff like that. Hopefully you do too. If you don't, you can comment and tell me you don't like looking at that. And I'll tell you, well, sorry, troll. But honestly, I think this is the longest bridge. Maybe the other one with the trestle that's still intact on top. But those are the 2 longest bridges I've seen. It was really worth going all the way to the end because we got to go into another state and everything. And I kind of thought that was really cool. And I'll probably take this ride again sometime. When I get my dual batteries, I'll try to do the whole thing in one shot. I mean, one way, of course. But, because again, it's like, what I say, 68, I don't know. Every time you hear me, I say a different number. I think I said 72 earlier. I think it's 68. But again, I get confused because I do it one way and back. So I'm doing a lot like this ride here is only 5.5 miles. But when it's all said and done, it's over 11. And not to mention my little bit of city riding, I check out the town. I don't always put that in my video because sometimes it's like I don't think there's anything you can see. But I will tell you, in that last town, I came to a house and I didn't want to say anything, but it's like, nice house, big and everything, but they just left all this junk out front. I don't know why in some towns you see that, where you see a washer and a dryer and a treadmill and a mattress. Why it's all just sitting outside. I get it, maybe they don't have anybody to pick it up, but take a truck and dump it. Take it to the dump. Don't just put it in your yard. looked like Sanford and Son. For those of you not old enough to know what that is, use Google Sanford and Son, and you'll know what I'm talking about. But anyways, I looked at the top, and this house it should be historic, right? Because at the top, and I really wish I would have had that on camera. I think I did take it on camera for you guys. But it's a Masonic temple or a lodge. And now it's in some guy's house. And I know that's not a big deal in maybe a major city, but in a small town, that was probably like the one for this whole area. And boy, them farmer boys back in the day and now were real culters. And it was probably real intense. I don't know much about the Masonics, even though my grandfather was huge in the Shriners, which is the highest level of Masonic, but I don't know much about that stuff. Yeah, more scat. Another little creek. Look at that. Alright, I'm going to shut down for now. Got one more mile to go. I'll turn it on at the end here. Alright, so we've made it back to Coin, where we started. That was just a little jaunt of 11 miles, I think, roughly. So we're going to finish up here. But just so you see that we've come to Coin. We'll end up in the trailhead and finish off there, but I wanted to show you and see that's the closest we'll ever get to a highway. Now we're on the highway. See? Coin, Iowa. And actually my phone's working this time so I can actually see. All my camera equipment actually worked for once, other than I don't have a drone like I wanted. But look at all that overgrown right here. This town has about a little bit more population than the last town on the thing, the Blanchard. But neither Blanchard seems to be doing more. These guys have a big not ConAgra company, but an agricultural company here. They should be putting money into this. Hell, they can come, I guarantee they cut that, but they can come and clean this trail. But this is a nice trailhead up here, like I said, if they just clean it once a week. Because they do have a toilet and a shower, and they have electrical. See right there? There's people there, so I'm not going to go over there, but see the people? There's a nice area there. You can put tents up and everything. It's a nice place, man. But it must be where like the local teenagers hang out, because there ain't shit else to do around here, and there's no cops. There's probably one local sheriff called Bill. Anyways, let's finish up here. So basically that was the end of the trail that we finished, and we came back. And I want to thank you guys for watching this. And like I said, there's one more video that'll finish it up. It'll be more from my area, just outside of where I live, coming down about another 8 miles. In a place that they stop and kind of got picnic tables, and they bring a band there, and they create their own party on Thursdays. They used to go all the way down to that city I was telling you about and go to the bar, but now they just do their own thing, kind of BYOB. So I'm going to check that one out. But it started to rain on the way back. Knew that was going to happen, but we missed the hard rain, so I'm finishing up right now. Again, like and subscribe. Shout out to the Magic Cycle fan page and to the Hay Bike Owners group and all that. Check out my page on Facebook if you're in the Nebraska, Iowa area. It's Omaha E-Bike Enthusiasts. Check out my website, www.ecocycleusa.com, if you want to get a cheap bike. Again, go look at Magic Cycle and Hay Bike and see what you like, and then let me know through that site, and I'll get back to you. All right? Like and subscribe. Put it...